Oh
Oh,
yeah. Well, none of us have been. Yeah,
Yeah.
because we haven't been. Angela's parents are coming. The children are coming. We've got a friend coming along to help with sort of
our
the
Chateau helper
Yeah.
Sasha's coming
Yeah.
through
yeah, and
to
none of
look
us have
after
been. So
Yeah.
Mum, Dad, Arthur and Dorothy.
Yeah.
There's obvious things,
Yeah.
like Arthur is obsessed about barbecues, surfing, snorkeling, koalas. Hold on, we need to get a I had to write this down. A quacker. There
a
has to be a
selfie with a
selfie with a
quokka.
quacker.
Yeah.
What's been lovely is we've had lots of recommendations as well, just from there'll be emails from people that are coming to the show, and they're like, you've got to come here. Had a few
Yeah.
like lovely invites of people around for tea and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's obviously only so much
Yeah.
limited time, but
That's right.
we're very, very excited. And what we've done on this tour is to make sure that we have got that time
Yeah.
to do more than, we'll have our night. We can't wait doing our meets and greets. And which we couldn't do on our last tour because in the UK, because it was COVID. So we're super
Yeah.
excited about that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have some family time as well. We had Christmas, we filmed our sort of Christmas special, and we've just got back actually from the Auvergne filming. So right now, we have been asked a couple of times, what's it like without the cameras there? And
Yeah.
we're like, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
No, we had a trip. Nobody's ever heard of the Auvergne in France back home because the Auvergne is actually the volcanoes. There's some dormant volcanoes, and they are so rugged and such a magnificent area. So we went on an explore and ate too much cheese, drank too much of the volcanic wine, and basically and it was cold. A complete. We never got to see the volcano properly
Oh.
because it was under ice and snow and clouds. But I know it's there because I've seen pictures.
It's exploring, and I mean, we've been obviously rightly so focused on the chateau, and we've had a few family holidays, and we've gone to France and we've seen a few areas. It's been very, very lovely, but we moved to France because we love it, and we
Yeah.
in the ironic way, we haven't had that time to go and
We've been
explore
working too
France.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Always
been,
lucky.
it's been a real pleasure. And when we go to anywhere, what we just love to do is just walking around the streets and finding those little sort of gems that you wouldn't ordinarily sort of find in a guide.
Yeah, but Megan, France is big. It's a big old country, and when you go around the place, every region's got a different feel to it. And you don't understand that. Back in the UK, if you asked me the difference between somebody in Cornwall and somebody in Yorkshire, we'd know because we've had all that exposure, and
Yeah.
we're looking forward to coming to Australia because we started in Perth. We're going to be in Canberra at the end, but we're going all over the place. And I'm assuming there's a difference in the people, and we're
Oh.
going down to New Zealand. So, and those
Yeah.
differences are what we're looking forward to. In
Yeah.
France, we all speak French. We don't understand as much as we should do. And we're finding out the differences in the different areas. And we've always gone exploring. Going to the coast of Brittany, we go there with the children and we'll go and collect the sort of the razor clams and we'll go collect clams. We'll do things. We'll go to the local restaurants. We'll talk to locals. We'll learn things. And that sort of thing is part of our adventure in France. You go to the Auvergne, you're up in the mountains in the snow. You go down to Marseille and you're in the sort of the back streets, and everything that we're doing, we love learning and we just love the adventure of what we're doing. And that's a huge part of our life here is enjoying the different wines, the different sort of culture and the different
I'm
people.
looking forward to some Australian wine.
Yeah.
Online.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to
Definitely.
drink, isn't it? That's the problem. It is easy to drink because you go to a French supermarket and they're just so completely single-minded. And maybe if this room was a complete sort of wine, every wall is covered in wall, there'd be about this much of one of the back walls with every other wine in the world,
Yeah.
just a little tiny bit, and all the rest is French. And because they don't do that, why would they? Australia was actually the first place to sort of adopt Escape to the Chateau after it was made, and we've had correspondence, and we've sort of and a lot of correspondence with people over and over again who are out there, and none of us have been. And it's a part of the world that everybody knows about, but not everybody has it. But we haven't had a chance. So for us, hey, how lucky are we?
we
Let's not be shy.
yeah, we can't wait. We did our first sort of UK tour, the Destitute tour, a couple of years ago, and we loved it, because that before that tour, we had Dick does public speaking. He absolutely loves it, and we do what we do. But we had no idea, how it would actually feel and be, and how the family would cope with it. The children come out with us on stage, my mum and dad, and honestly, it was such a buzz for the whole family. We worked hard. We got to see new places. We were traveling every day when we did a UK tour. We met lots and lots of people that had come to see the show, heard lots of stories, did millions of hugs, and I have to say it was just such a buzz. And
it was a privilege. It was a privilege because remember, we live in France, and up to that point when we did our first, nobody in France knew who we were. It was really, now they show the series and people talk to us in a slightly different way and people meet us. But going around the UK, I know the UK. I'm an old fart. I know my way around. And we went to places, I don't think I went to anywhere I hadn't been before. But the family, the children went to Wales for the first time, even up to Scotland from the first tour. And various places we go to, it's that exploration and just learning. And life's about learning. And that hopefully comes across well, because we do actually enjoy the adventure. And to have somebody says, "Do you want to go to Australia?" I don't think no even crossed our mind in any way, shape, or form.
Absolutely not. And because sort of, as Dick said, Australia and shortly after New Zealand were the first sort of countries to adopt escape. They have seen the children, the people that we correspond with, who are, either via email or on the social media, seen the children grow up. And we get a number of sort of like Australian themed Christmas presents every year. Like it's so sweet. And I mean, they're gonna get, when we come there, I think everyone's gonna be quite surprised at how tall the children have got recently. Arthur is my height now.
Arthur's as big as me. Yeah.
I think that we've created a happy place for the family, that the children are happy, that the business is doing good. Been a lot of hard work, and we've got electric, water, heating, plumbing, sort of
really boring stuff. I'm not allowed to talk about sewage ever, even though that's our biggest achievement, but never mind. But when it comes down to the happy place Angela mentions, one of the key things that's happened because of we came in, and the first year I was working away to get money to put into it, and then the wedding started. We got more money, and we every time we earn, we put in. We got to the stage last year with the roof done, the render done, and the windows started. We have future-proofed the chateau for the children through 8 years of graft, and what that basically means is, if they decide they're going to take it on, because this is our home, and if they decide they want it in some way, shape, or form, they haven't got the scary idea of the roof needs to be redone, or, oh my God, there's a big bill. It's actually, we have future-proof such that
they can, if anything happened, we're not giving them.
We're not passing a poison chalice. What we're doing is we're sort of giving them that opportunity to be and do whatever they want. But we started that with zero. We had the chateau, which was barely livable, but livable. And over time, and they've been part of that journey because they've been the reason why we do. We've got a couple of little sort of dedications in books, and it is about the fact they're our journey. We didn't know what we wanted to do, but we knew we were going to have a family together. And when we made that decision, we're going to have a family together, all of a sudden, a bloody castle came into it. I have no idea how that works. But somehow it worked. And so that's been a part of where we're going.
It's a hard one because you've got different genres of favorite.
Yeah, I like this one because Angela hasn't been allowed to touch it.
We're in Dick's office.
This is my office, or I don't even see, but it's not decorated. It's full, but it's not decorated. You're gonna because I don't know if you can see all the pictures, all the stuff. And you haven't even seen the other wall. You can't see. It's just full of all sorts of books, mementos, bits from the army, gun safe, all sorts of stuff there. That's just collected rubbish of mine. But Angela hasn't decorated this. That's something I do like. But I've got to say, I think the room that I'm going to get a lot of pleasure from is our extension. We built an extension in Series 9 just at the end, and we've got an extension on the chateau at the back, which is, I think,
it's a winter garden. It's like
sort of like a wrought iron conservatory. up in the air.
Stunning.
But that I've been out there. I sat out there last weekend actually with Dorothy when she was painting and I was reading and doing some work. And literally the two of us I had a cup of coffee. She was sitting there humming away, and Arthur was in the playroom next door doing some Lego. building. And I was just thinking, this is why we did this. And it is. It's why that quality time, and literally Dorothy humming along when I was sort of reading through recipes for the Auvergne. And I just think to myself, that is what a great life. We don't do it often enough.
No.
The idea of sitting in there, but this summer, you never know.
You will do. I know. I think my favorite rooms are probably. I still smile every time I go in the wallpaper museum in the turret.
In the honeymoon suite.
In the honeymoon suite. That gives me so much joy. And it still looks really fresh and lovely in there. I love my Tressoir because I've got so many special little pieces in there that just take me back to, that having that cupboard or that shelf or whatever you've got. And
it's a long way up. It's a very peaceful part of the chateau.
Yeah. And I also love our suite. The children are so happy, and we always do something for Arthur's birthday. So he gets a few presses, but he gets something like one year he got a little shed outside, and then last year Dick made him what are they called, the
a quintain, or something for chopping swords on, sort of like a model made of tires.
And this year we've his room's evolved, and he's got this whole like Lego kind of wall and everything, and it's just such a happy place, because the place is big, and we use it for the weddings, and there's a lot of the suites and what have you, so it can feel quite sort of uppity down, but our suite is so contained and cozy and comfy. And today I was working, put a candle on, and it was just I just thought this is nice.
It's ridiculous, the fact that we're together. There's no way you can actually sit down and say, today I'm going to write a little love story, and I'm going to start with this old fart born in Burma back in the 50s, and then I'm going to have this beautiful buxom wench born in Essex in the 70s. Yes. What we're going to do, we're going to get them to meet 70s. In London, sort of 50 years after and she's still, and you're going, what? This doesn't make any sense. But it makes a lot of sense. We talk about it in the show because actually things happen because they're meant to happen. But you have to make them happen by making decisions on your way through. If either of us had made a different decision at any time in our lives, we wouldn't have come together. And after we've been together, if we made a different decision at any time, we wouldn't be here doing as we are. We wouldn't have Arthur and Dorothy and the Chateau. And so explaining that, my story goes back to the 50s. Yours goes back to the 60s with your mum and dad. And all of those things come together. And I think what we like to do is sort of make sure that people get a feeling for these things come together, but they happen because people are positive and do positive things. And, the dare to do it concept, go for it. If you procrastinate, say no, don't do it, then you don't know where you were going to go. You only get one pass at this life.
And we did not answer your question of how we met. We do talk about it on the show. Just for you, it was our agent who. That sounds a bit weird saying it, but Dick is Dick is a television presenter and has been for the last 25 years.
I met my agent before she was an agent because I competed against her husband in Scrap Heap, the Scrap Heap Challenge. So I met her in a field in the middle of nowhere, and she said, I want to be your television agent. And I said, don't be ridiculous, I'm a colonel in the army, there's no way I'm going to be doing any of that nonsense. 3 years later, Sophie became my agent. Then after another sort of dozen years after that, she became Angela's agent.
She became my agent off the back of a Dragon's Den.
I know a bloke who you'd like to meet. He's very efficient. And she said to me, I know this gorgeous girl that you'd like to meet. And she introduced us, and we haven't been apart since.
Megan, did you get the bit where Sophie told me that Dick's really efficient?
Yeah, I didn't pass any comment about my physical attributes, just that I'm very efficient. That's last tour. We've done 2 tours. The last one we weren't allowed to. The one before It was amazing. We just met so many people who we've been in correspondence with, and there's people, and we can't wait to meet some of the people who we've been in correspondence. And when they actually say their names, Andrew will know their life history. I'm not claiming that, but Andrew will know their life history because of all the way through. And there's some I will know because we've actually sent things. We've had correspondence backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
It's quite special because otherwise, people invite us into their living rooms, but we are sort of remote from it. Whereas you actually get along, and they get, and by the end of an evening when we're together, people actually feel like we just add to what they already know, and it sort of confirms it. We're not actors, we're not actresses. We're not allowed to be an actress.
No, you're only actors.
I'm only allowed to be an actor.
Actors. Sorry, I'll keep you on the
I don't understand how to be politically correct. I just got old as it happens.
Changes so quickly. You have to have someone who is also. But we normally, and this is probably what we'll be doing. The theatres will chuck us out. Chuck us all out.
Yeah.
So
we've been there to and people get a bit worried because it's 1 a.m. and we're still saying hello to people. It's
really an opportunity of a lifetime, and we are not going to be, hi, bye.